Hello my friends and welcome once more to this Red Gaming Tech video. Myself, Marta. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. I'm sure many of you are still in food comas, and I only just come out of one myself. And still got the new year to go yet, so going to be good. Anywho, we're going to kick off today's video, which of course is going to be rich full of the latest news from the tech world in the last 24 or so hours, with something from the PlayStation 5. So you may recall back when Mark Cerny, who is of course the lead system architect for the PlayStation 5, initially revealed the specs of the PlayStation 5 console, that he was a little disappointed that, well, disappointed is not really the right word, frustrated is what he actually said, that the audio didn't really change all that much between the PS3 and the PS4, and they wanted to make that not the case for the PS5. And now there is a new interview with Games Radar. So a few people have said, including Samuel Justice, who was previously an audio director for the Chinese Room, DICE and Frictional Games, the co-founder and supervising sound engineer of Sweet Justice Sound, the company behind Fortnite, the sound in Fortnite obviously, Mortal Kombat 11 and Half-Life Alyx, said, quote, "I think the raw computing power needed to create realistic audio models is largely overlooked. In the past, we have managed to create fairly good representations of acoustic modelling through a lot of trickery and clever techniques. The ability to realise automated 3D audio is a big step forward for game audio and will certainly result in much richer experiences." And according to Marcus Klang, the lead designer over at Zoink Games, ray tracing can also be used to help improve sound. Now, this is not the first time we've heard this. Obviously, ray tracing is all shadows, lights, that sort of thing. We have heard before about ray traced audio. However, he said, quote, "It can be used to improve the sense of realism by more accurate adjustments of the audio, depending on the environment surrounding the player in real time." So obviously, both systems, unsurprisingly, have been focusing a lot on the visual power in their marketing interviews, so on and so forth, leaks as well. But sound is very, very important. Sound is very underlooked. You know, I've done videos in the past about the importance of sound in games, game genres, should I say, such as horror. So it would be nice to see some really nice improvements over for sound. Will it be a system seller? Probably not, but it's still nice to see and to experience as well, of course. And speaking of the PS5, we also have some comments regarding the ease of development for the console. And these comments come from none other than the former PlayStation president, Shuhei Yoshida. Now, he spoke on the ease of development as I implied in the introduction to this topic, which is something that's very, very important. Of course, we saw with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and all its variants that these systems were easy to develop for. They had a very PC-like architecture, made porting over to PC, of course, much easier. And especially for Sony, that was a stark contrast to the PS3, which was notoriously difficult to develop for because of its unique specifications. And Shuhei himself said in an interview with Dengeki that, quote, "The ease of making software for the PS5 is at a level never seen before. If the difficulty of hardware becomes the hardware to overcome, developers can't concentrate on making games. Anyway, hardware makes it easier to create games, so you spend more time creating games." And he was, of course, directly asked, okay, what is PS5's ease in terms of the PS4? And he said, quote, "Similar to PS4, but PS5 is ahead." So essentially what he's saying is we're going to see the same ease of development. In fact, it's going to be even easier than before to develop games for the PlayStation 5 console, which is very, very important. You know, Paul and I talk a lot about specs of the consoles. Unsurprisingly, we are tech nerds at the end of the day. But what people really care about outside of that is games. What games can I play? How well do they run, etc. You know, the specs are important, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people who perhaps aren't watching this video or would be even interested in this type of video are just going to be focused on the games. And having an ease of development is obviously one big step to getting a really solid games library. Anywho, we're going to move on now to something from Intel. Or to be more specific, the 10th generation line of processors from Intel, which of course is better known as Comet Lake S. And we have a pretty significant leak thanks to Informatica Zero, as they somehow got their hands on the entire specs deck for Comet Lake, letting us know exactly what's coming up from this generation. You can of course find a link to their article in the description below this video, but you will need to get your Google Translate on, unless you speak Spanish, or read Spanish, I suppose I should say. Anywho, so let's begin with the details. So we have a ton to get through here, but let's begin with the unlocked SKUs. There is the flagship, which is a 10900K, followed by the i7 10700K and the i5 10600K. Now, if you're thinking, hang on, shouldn't you be saying some more words after that start with the words i3? Normally, yes, I probably would, but it is just not on this list. At least not in this particular iteration. It is found on the 65 watt family, because we see i9, i7, i5 and i3 variants of various SKUs being listed here, but in the full fat 125 watt desktop, we just do not see i3 on this particular lineup, which is a little bit strange. That's not something I would think is the best idea for Intel. So make of that what you will. I can only report what this particular image is showing. Now, the text is a little difficult to read, but we can see for the base frequency of the flagship, which once again is a 10900K, we see up to 3.7. Single core turbo is at 5.1, and for the all core turbo frequency looks to be 4.8, but I am genuinely struggling to read that particular number, to be honest with you. But regardless, let's move on to the 7700K. We see 3.8 as the base frequency, up to 5 GHz for the single core turbo, and for the all core turbo frequency, we do see 4.7 GHz. And for the 10600K, we see 4.1 GHz for the base frequency. Single core looks to be 4.8, but once again, kind of hard to read on this. The all-core frequency is 4.5. And then on the 65 watt parts, we do see 10900, 2.8 GHz base, single core up to 5.0, and all core turbo frequency up to 4.5. And for the i7 10700, we do see 2.9 GHz as the base, single core turbo 4.7, and then the all core turbo is 4.6. So some very, very nice information on what to expect from Intel for Comet Lake S, should I say. Of course, we should wait and see more information from Intel before we consider this, well, solved, but this information does look pretty legit, and if their name seems familiar, they were behind a lot of the huge Ryzen leaks some time ago now, so obviously they have a bit of a reputation there. Anywho, we're going to move swiftly on now to a little something from Steam, as they have revealed their top sellers for this year. So you guys are probably aware that every year Valve release the best of the year, showing top sellers, top new releases, etc, etc. And I'm going to mostly focus on the top sellers of 2019, which are divided into platinum, silver, and bronze categories. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's literally countless games here, but I am going to focus on the top two tiers, that being platinum, gold and silver, top three, should I say. Anywho, so for the platinum, we see PUBG still going strong, CSGO, Shattered Web, Dota 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Warframe, Monster Hunter World, GTA 5, Total War 3 Kingdoms, Destiny 2, Civ 5, Elder Scrolls Online, and of course Sekiro, the Game of the Year winner. As for gold, we see Path of Exile, Conquerors of the Atlas, Devil May Cry 5, Halo MCC Collection, Total War Hammer 2, Jedi Fallen Order, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Resident Evil 2, The Witcher 3, Rocket League, Mordhau, Final Fantasy 14, and Dead by Daylight. As for silver, we do see Remnant from the Ashes, Ark, Code Vein, Rust, Planet Zoo, Red Dead 2, Risk of Rain 2, Borderlands 2, Euro Truck Simulator 2, lots of 2s going on here, Team Fortress 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Solaris, War Thunder, Northern Wind, Black Desert Online Remastered, Arma 3, and Cities Skylines. Once again, there is an absolutely monstrous bronze section. I'm not going to go through loads here, just going to pick a few of my personal favourites that I'm glad to see did well, like for example Dark Souls 3, no surprise there I suppose, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Planet Coaster, Terraria, Stardew Valley, Gears 5, XCOM 2, Cyberpunk, even though it's not even out yet. There's quite a bit here. So yeah, you can find the full list in the description below this video. There is loads to get through. Again, there's even other categories I'm not tracking, like top new releases, top selling VR games, and most simultaneous players, for instance. I'll quickly have a look at that because I'm actually quite curious. So, over 100,000 simultaneous players. What Total War Dota Underlords, Dota 2, Path of Exile, PUBG, GTA 5, Rainbow Six Siege, Halo, Warframe, Destiny 2, CSGO and Sekiro. So congrats to all those games. Once again, you can find a link to all that information in the description below this video. But thank you all very much for watching. Hope you're all having a lovely holiday and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.